There we go. Okay, how are you guys feeling so far? What did you think about 2 and 3? Any thoughts first off?
I really like two. I think Sherry's on mute though.
That's okay. She's
I
coming.
was. I was talking to my
Oh,
husband,
I was like,
trying to get
it's gonna be super
conveying
boring if I'm the only one talking. I really like two. I'll be honest, I didn't finish the intro in one, and I was like, I'm just gonna skip it because I wasn't there last week. So
No, just go back. I left the recording so you can just do like your clip notes. Just listen to the 30-minute recording
I will, and I need to finish
where you
reading
went
it.
through it.
But I read chapter two, and I'm almost done with three. But I really liked, it's like knocking me upside the head. I really, really liked it.
I like that he flipped the grid on procrastination because like everything he's saying, you're like, I know, I know, I know. And then he's like, but it's good. And you're like, it is? Like, tell me why it's good.
Right.
Tell me why it's like a good sign for like me thinking this way. Um, but I think it's really important to note that like the bad things that does come from procrastination, I think it's good to just kind of be very, I think he was really direct about when you kind of squirrel around. I think the biggest thing for me from what I see like outside the book is when you're not doing what you should be doing or what your purpose is, you feel off because you're not aligned with your purpose. And so that does increase your feeling of shame and guilt, not in like, well, I should probably be doing that job over there, because I don't think that really kicks in. Like, I should really be a teacher. Like, I don't really think about that, right? But the things that my heart leads me to do, if I'm not really taking action steps toward that, then I know that I'm procrastinating what I should be doing. And I can see that like the mental health and all of that is only because God's like, hey, nudge, nudge, you're not doing it, you know? Or like, how come you're
Mhm.
not showing up in this way? And I don't think it's, yeah. So that's kind of what came up for me, but mostly in that sense that it limits your potential and that we are here because we have a purpose and because we have different gifts and we have multiple paths that we could take and can take. It doesn't have to be one path that we take. And this book, I think, opens it up to, yeah, if you can harness some things, there's probably actually 10 avenues or more that are open for you, but we got to get through this like first part first, right? Like you won't know what
Mhm.
they are until you can clear some lanes. And then there's space to have more things come into your life. Um, so it says the number one deathbed regret for most people is that they never took steps to do what they really wanted to do with their lives. Instead, they procrastinated when it came to realizing their deepest dreams and settled for less. That's sad. That's sad. Um, and it can be simple things like I want to travel to this country. And there's always those people that are like, I did want to go to Greece one day, but I just never made it. And you're kind of like,
Mhm.
why though? Like if that's, I mean, maybe like don't say that that's your thing. If it's really your thing and you're like, man, that is on my vision board, then stick it on the board and like make a plan. Be like, in 3 years, and then backwards plan to get there. And maybe your dream was to be there for a month, but you get there for like 4 days to Tahiti. Like you went there. Like it proves to yourself that you can see something, accomplish it, grab it, and then your brain will be like, she can do it again. She can do it again. So I love that part of it. The bigger your ambition, the more procrastination you'll experience. I thought was really interesting. Everyone who is ambitious procrastinates. It's part of having big goals that stretch far beyond you. And I think the procrastination is probably more in the hesitation of like, but our
Mhm.
brain saying, but how? Like, I want
Right.
to do that big thing, but I'm not sure how. And that's why they go back in and be like, because it's not how, it's who, right? Who can help me with this? So that's instead of saying how. Um, Your eyes only see and your ears only hear what your brain is looking for. So if you're like, I probably can't do that, I don't think I can do that, then you're probably going to put that into your life versus
Mhm.
absolutely I can do that. Who's going to help me get there? Um, so I just got put in charge of budgeting. We've never been super like write down our budget people. We've just been really frugal and it's done really well so far, but we're trying to go to another level. And so instead of normally I'm a super researcher. And so I would do like all the research on apps and I just did a who. So I
I
went
saw that
on,
post.
Yeah, thank you. I got
Yeah.
tons of really great responses from people. And then I went back and said, why do you like it? Tell me why you like it. Tell me why you like it. Like, prove to me that this is something that I should do.
Mhm.
One girl said, my husband's an accountant. He recommends blank to all of his people. And I go, oh, why? Why would he pick that one over the other ones? And so I'm getting Who's to help me finalize my choice versus me spending like 2.5 hours on Google, which I could easily do, looking up what is the best app for budgeting and why.
It was like that guy that had the aluminum plant in China, and then the tariffs went too high because China wasn't paying their part, and so then he found he did his homework and asked the who could do it for him in India. I thought that was pretty cool
Mhm.
because it would have taken him forever to do that. I think I'm like I know that you're a Mormon. I don't know if you're a Mormon too, but
Yep.
I was a Relief Society
Yeah.
president. And I remember like just being, as a young single adult ward. And I was like, I don't care how you do it, just get it done. Because there's very few things in life that have to be done certain ways. Like, when you go to the
Mhm.
temple, when you do ordinances, and then there's other things. But you don't have to be like, okay, you need to do it this way and micromanage it because just it takes time, it takes energy, it's mental, it gets you mental, literally, if you're trying to control everybody too, because you can't do that. And so I like that the author spoke about that, about the person that does his hiring, and then the guy that talked about going to India too, because it would have taken him a long time to do that. It would have taken him, to have control. I know at times we want to be control freaks, but like we're really not. Like I'm sure when I pray, Heavenly Father just is like, whatever. It's like you think so. You think sometimes, Trish, right? Like, yeah, okay.
Yep.
So I like it too. I really liked when they talked about Lars Ulrich too, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're talking about Metallica. Like I didn't even have to like look
Yeah.
and see their because I know who Lars is. So that was super fun to see too. Being from California, right? I'm from Northern California too. So
I know. And how cool it was that he's just like, anyone looking? Like such a simple statement of
right.
like, anyone looking so I could do this thing that I love with other people who love it.
I actually really like that. And I started to write things down too, because I, like you, work with Plexus and I want to hit the top thing. But like the distance between that and trying to reach it, there's tons of things I need to do right. Like act and act. Basically, not just wish and procrastinate, but I need to do something about it. So, and all this stuff going on too with March and everything. Everybody's like, join. So I forgot last week about this. I told you I was gonna come, but I have chemo brain, and it's a real thing. Like if I don't write things down or tell Alexa, I'll totally forget. So I totally forgot, and I'm super sorry because I love reading
That's
books.
okay.
But I like pinned it down today, and I had the reminder, and that's why I'm here. So
Good for you.
if I don't, yeah, it's a struggle sometimes because my brain isn't as sharp as it used to be. I'm a cancer survivor, two type cancer survivor, and this month is my 7 year when I was diagnosed on Saturday. So um it's interesting to see where I was and the person I become through that and where I want to be. Like I feel like I'm a different person. Like he talks about like nothing worthwhile is easy. Nothing that you want to become. It's almost like it's cheap. And I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but if you can get something easily, you're not going to love it and you're not going to cherish it if it comes to you easy. So,
Mhm.
What do you think, Sherry, so far?
Yeah, I've really been enjoying the book. I love the just the whole concept of thinking of who can help me. Right now I'm working with several who's in my for my own life. Like I hired a health coach because I'm like, you know what? I want to take my health to a different level. And so I have a personal trainer that she gives me form feedback. She has made my workouts for me. She's customed everything. And like I don't have to think about what I'm gonna do in the gym. I don't have to try to worry about any of my nutrition because she's already taken care of everything for me. And I just have to execute, which has freed up so much space for me in my life.
Tip
It's
here.
made it so, yeah, it's so much easier to just
Overthinking
do the things,
and the
yeah, to just
research.
do the things that I want to do.
Mhm.
And then I'm working with a business coach too in a mastermind right now. And it's just so much easier to work with other people through things than
Yes.
on your own.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm so glad that I did it because I would be spinning my wheels and just not getting anything done if I was trying to do it on my own.
So I have a background as like a graphic designer and I've done logos just in the past for people. But when it came to my own, this is probably like 8 years ago, I spent 2 years researching, researching,
Mm.
researching. And then finally someone was like, my friend does stuff. And I looked at his stuff and I was like, man, he is good. And I threw out like, I don't know, $500 or $700, which now things have gone so much higher. But that at the time was a lot for me. And he came back with way better than I could have because he's thinking like separate from me. And I'm like over analyzing my own stuff so much in here. And I was like, this isn't even worth it. Like I can kind of take my own family pictures, but like I can also hire another really good photographer because I can't get the same viewpoint into my family as someone can with me in it, right? I can shoot
Mhm.
my husband and my kids as like this awesome viewpoint, but I can't get me in there. And I think so
Mhm.
often we're just like, here we go again. Um, where's my balloons? So often we're like, I can do it. And especially if you're creative, you really can do it, but you can only do it subpar and only so much.
Mhm.
Versus other people really narrow their lane. And so then they can give you faster, quicker feedback or faster, quicker direction, which is really what this is about. And so they give you this thing that you can print out. And he's just like, as a suggestion, every big goal that you have, fill that out. And that will be very clear on who can help you. And so I love that. I love the statement. And I was going to do a post about it today. I haven't gotten there yet. People are attracted to purpose and are looking for something meaningful to be a part of. That's a lot of what we talk about in our lane of work. It's a lot of we talk about. Sherry's a health, not a health coach, a life coach, but as a health coach, as in our religion, because I can tap into both of those, we talk a lot about like how people want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of a cause. They want to be a part of, because like you're saying, the
Mhm.
team part of it is the energy part of it. It's collaborative thinking. And so we talked about how college, it's so interesting. They teach you to do everything by yourself, like high school and college, right? And you get into the business world and it's immediately like the only way ahead is collaborative thinking. But
Mhm.
high school and college break down all collaboration and say, no, you have to do it all on your own. Like you have to figure that out on your own. You have to test on your own. You have to do the project on your own. You have to graduate on your own. And as soon as you get to business, it's like, well, you need to work with this team, this team, this team, this team, this team, so we can all rise. And I think that's so much better in business to have different strengths working together. Um, and then I love that he said the purpose of filling out that form is to first sell yourself on the vision because you can't sell other people until you're sold yourself, right? If you don't
Mhm.
believe in what you're doing, it's really hard to motivate anyone else to come along with you. If you don't believe that you're worthy of healthy eating or of exercising, you can't be like, you should really work out. And they're like, you don't work out ever. And you're like, but you should. It's really good for your health, you know? They're not going to get on board or go for the walk with you if you don't if you don't walk the walk or if you don't even have like a vision of, I know I haven't done it ever before, but I want to start it. Like I want to start
Mhm.
something now. Like you can start today with something brand new. You don't have to
Like
have experience in it. You can be like, I want to start a walking club or I want to start a book club or I want to start a, whatever, and then get different people to chime in. Um, and I love how it says, by working with you, they bless your life and you bless theirs. You get their resources and they get yours. And it's really, what's that thing at church that's like the law of consecration? Like it reminded me of that. I was talking to my kids about that, how everyone does their very best and then they all divvy in their resources, and some is financial and some is food
Mhm.
storage and some is grains and some is cattle and some is sewing and knitting and cooking, and really when you do it with the right people that are not like takers and suckers, because we want to be aware of those
Mhm.
people, right? Those aren't the good people. That if we do it with people that are truly giving their all as you're giving your all and you find equal value, like everybody wins.
that's funny. I'm writing that down. Takers and suckers. Because they're everything right. Like it's always funny when people say to me, Mormons are a certain type. I'm like, Mormons are stupid as anybody else. Like we're human beings. So if you think
Yeah.
we're not gonna be stupid, you're totally wrong.
Well, and
So
that's we've all seen that with like high school friends or like you get a college friend and there's always like a taker.
yeah,
And then you always align with somebody, you're like, man, I'm in this relationship, but man, they suck a lot out of me, or somebody you're dating, or like
yeah.
you
I
feel
had to
like
do that with my
energy
neighbor.
suck. And the more self-development you do, I think the more you're in tune with energy suckers and
Mhm.
depleters and people that like add.
Yeah,
And the
and
more
Yep.
you're like,
backwards.
I just need to be around more of the adders.
Yes.
If you could choose, which we are over 35, we can absolutely, I think you are, right? I feel
Not
like-
yet.
okay, over
Yeah.
30, you
Okay.
get to a mental place where you're like, wait, I can choose my friends. It's not
Yeah.
I always say that. That's funny you say that. I'm like, my mom isn't around. I don't have to hang out with you if I don't want to.
Yeah, you know, like I think kind of you're still in that lane in your 20s where you're kind of like, but it's the nice thing, or I should, or I feel
Mhm.
obligated. But somewhere in that middle point over 30, you're just kind of like, I don't think I want to go. I'm okay. Or
Yeah.
I want to hang out with you. Let's do that. You know,
I
or
can
that
love
was
you
really
from
fun, but I
afar.
can let that friendship slide away because I'd rather put more time and effort into here or finding something new, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I understand that because I have a neighbor that would help her out all the time. Like she locked her new iPhone. She's in her 70s. And so like I helped her. I'm not kidding when I said I spent like almost 10 hours a couple days there, and it just sucked the life out of me. I got to the point I just had to like go away because she wasn't a good friend. I wasn't being filled, and I just would come home and I'd have to like recover from being around her.
And
And
you
I was
can
like,
love those people and you can still serve
yes,
those people, but you do have to guard your energy and guard your time.
that's exactly what it
Mhm.
is. So
Yeah.
I've had to step away. And so she thinks I'm mad. I'm like, no, I'm not mad. I have to protect myself because but we're not helping each other. Like I go there and I try to uplift her and she brings me down and I'm like, that's not the type of people I want to hang around. Then I feel judgy and it's hard.
But it even says in the book, like, if you think about your life as like, I only have this many hours a day
See, and
to
I do
have
that
a
too because
purpose,
I'm a cancer survivor and I understand that. Like,
my time is
wholeheartedly.
limited. Yeah. And I have a purpose. And so as much as I would love to like serve you more, spend time, I actually have to go because I have something that I'm working on at
I want
home.
to do the important things. That's what matters to me. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to
Um,
beat myself about it anymore. So I'll stop beating up myself about it because I'm like, I was like, Jesus says you love, but Jesus like also whipped people, so we're okay.
Yeah.
We'll be like, he loved them too, but so
Yeah. I love the quote that says, what is the ultimate quantification of success? For me, it's not how much time you spend doing what you love, it's how little time you spend time doing what you hate.
I like that too.
And so part of analyzing our lives during this book might be like, what are the things that really deplete me? What are the things that really are an energy sucker? Is there a person? Is there an event? Is there something in my schedule that's really just like not an occasional thing, like, a mammogram, or you know what I mean? Like if you hate those, which I don't care, but like there's certain things that are just kind of like blah, but you have to get through them. But are there things in your life that are like every week and every day
Mhm.
that you're doing begrudgingly? And how can you either take that and shift it to something good? Like, I hate doing laundry. So what if every time I do laundry, I listen to positive music, or I put on a podcast, or I catch up with a video, because then I can leave that space of 30 minutes having done something towards my goals in addition to what is necessary? Or how can I start paying my kids $2 every time they fold all the laundry? And then I just don't, you know, like you can be creative and be like, either who can help me or how can I do it with a better, with a better outcome. And so then I'm not spending time doing what I hate instead of, doing more of what you love. And I love that example of literally that guy, like you're saying, that hired out so many things that he had like months of his life to go fly a plane, like months. And then the other chapter, remember, was like the baseball thing where she took off 2 months a year to hang out with her mom. Most people do not have
Mhm.
any jobs that they can just literally step out and take off, even if it's not collective months like July, August, but throughout the year, months of their life, knowing things are running smoothly, to just be in a place of like joy, like something they just really, really love to do and want more of. So how can we create that? Will you stop tolerating the wasteful and painful use of your time? Like that's a really harsh comment, I think. Like kind of like, when are you going to stop? Like, are you willing? Are you willing to stop? And I
Mhm.
think first we have to identify, like I'm saying, what those are before we can determine that, no, I really don't want more of that. Hey, I love you.
Good night.
Okay.
I don't know.
Step out and close the door behind you, Kate. So it says you can start small, start by eliminating all tasks or distractions that are unnecessary to your future self. So not just things that you hate, but how specifically does it limit, or is it unnecessary, or is it a distraction to your future self? Often we engage in tasks simply out of habit. If it can be eliminated altogether, then eliminate it. Your future self will thank you. So what comes to mind for both of you? That's something that you kind of just like is mind numbing, or that you do, but it's not necessary, or that you could, what do you think?
I have a lot of things I hate doing.
Give me
I
one.
hate cleaning.
Okay.
I really hate cleaning. It is not my favorite. And so I don't have a housekeeper here. I did when we lived in Tennessee. Um, that is something that I would like to work back up to as it fits the budget to have back, because I loved not having to ever clean my toilets. It was great. It was the best. And I miss having that. So I want to work back up to that one. So I'm like, oh, I don't like it. And now I'm working a whole lot more, like a lot more. And so I don't have the capacity to get it all done. And I don't want to try anymore. So I've stopped. So I don't care about a lot of things. My family's just like, it's okay. It's fine.
So like a
I'm never
who,
gonna
like we have our kids do their chores, but we pay them
Mhm.
to do like the family area. So $5 per
Mhm.
bathroom of the family group areas, and they can choose if they want to earn extra money and do
Mhm.
a common area bathroom. Sometimes I will pay them to do my bathroom because I don't want to do it. And I'm like, hey, you do my sink, my toilet, my floor. I will also pay you. And they're like, your room? And I go, yeah, because I don't want to do them
Yeah.
ever. And so we've added that in, which is helpful because that's a who, right? They need extra money, they need cash, and I don't want to do it. I did also have a cleaning lady in California, and it makes me sad every day that I used to be so happy. Like that when I would walk into my house and everything was clean at the same time, I was like, can I just give you a hug? Like they were like my
The
family.
best feeling. The best feeling.
To have your oven and your stove and your floor sparkling with
Mhm.
whatever they put
All
on
of
there
it.
that's all shiny. Oh, and freshly vacuumed,
Yes.
like the greatest gift. Um, then I up leveled and had them do my sheets. I was like, when you come, can you strip
Ooh.
down sheets? I'll buy 2 sets. So just make the bed and just throw the rest in the laundry. I'll do it. I'll wash it. I'll wash it. I'll dry it. I'll fold it. All you're doing is switching. So could you switch that while you're, and they were like, sure.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh, that's
snuck
awesome.
that in. And then I'd come home to fresh sheets and I was like, so yes, I'm working my way up back to that as well. So that's a who. One of the things is I I can't do all the delivery, but I've done Kroger delivery more than I've gone in. So I do it all on the app and then I drive through and I pick it up. And that saves me a ton of time. Like as the week goes by, I'll do a
Yes.
Costco run, but for Kroger, I will sit and
I
slowly
never
add
go
it to my
in.
cart, look for what's on sale, and then I will go and pick it up in my car. And that's
Yeah,
not
that's
like
another.
an hour and a half of scanning and scrolling and buying unnecessary things.
Yeah, that's another one I'm working up to is Instacart, because Instacart can do Costco.
Hmm.
I just want my time back. Like that's one thing my health coach highly recommends is so you never buy anything off plan is you Instacart. You get your time and like
Yep, I did
save
that for
because
a
you're not
while.
impulse buying and then I did too. I did a lot when I lived in Tennessee. Like, oh, I need those things back in my life.
I did. And then once I went to Costco and this lady goes, oh, are you an Instacart shopper? And I go, no, I just have 4 kids.
No, we just feed
I was
an
like,
army.
no, this
It's
is
fine.
actually all personal consumption. Sorry. Um, and like every so often, like they mess up. And then like I saw this guy like barging in with my bananas, and I was like, those are all gonna be black. Like, could you not? But they're so good about being like, no problem. And then they just like give it back or give you your money back or whatever.
Mhm.
So hold on one second. Hold on. So, what about you, Patricia? What do you want? What do you think is something that you doesn't bring you joy that would give you more time back, or doesn't add to your long-term purpose?
It's funny, I can't, this is sounding out, but I like cleaning. I'm weird that way. And if you ever go to my profile, you'll see me and my husband got some new Sonos speakers for our house.
So you
He
could clean,
does.
listen to music.
So yeah, I could take that baby to any room and I can listen to it all around the house. So I like dance and I like clean up at the same time. And so I'm actually half Polynesian, so we do a lot of cleaning and stuff in our family. So I'm not really sure because I feel like I know there's things that I
Scrolling.
know because I actually have timers set on my Instagram too, like
Oh,
to cut me out like every 10 minutes if I'm on it too long. So, and the only time I'll spend long periods of time is like posting and stuff because I'll post about, I'll post my testimony, I'll try to do plexus, share my cancer journey and stuff because in all honesty, I know I'm not perfect, but I feel like I just don't have time for garbage because you can't, my dad has passed away, my mom passed away.
do you work
My
full time?
I do not. I take care of a baby at home.
Okay.
I've taken care of her since she was 2 months old and she's 18 months tomorrow. So, and my brother passed away right after I had cancer, like 9 days later. So I find that like I just don't have to do crap if I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I have meetings with Relief Society and stuff. I'd probably trade that and have to deal with not very nice people sometimes. Sisters that don't want to do stuff, but I'm
Do you
just
guys want to
trying.
pick one of these questions and we can answer them? Do you see these
Yeah,
questions?
what page are you on?
Page 65. Maybe we can each answer a question and then we'll talk about the challenge at the end. And then we'll wrap up.
Can you put those in the chat? Because I have the audiobook, so I don't
Oh,
have.
yeah. Let me do that right
And I've
now.
been looking to see if they have a. Sometimes there's a guide, but I didn't see one in the Audible, which is unfortunate.
They do have it
Well, I
sometimes.
can just read them out loud too. So it says, looking back over the past quarter, what are the things you've achieved that make you the proudest? And then I'll type them. What are the current areas of focus and progress that make you the most confident? Looking ahead at the next quarter, what new developments, projects, or goals are giving you the greatest sense of excitement? And what are the 5 new jumps progress you can now achieve that will make your next 90 days a great quarter, regardless of what else happens? Because it talks about doing everything in 90-day increments. We've talked a lot about that in our work too, is everyone should have at least 2 big pushes out of the year and 90-day goals. I mean, you should do like 90-day, 1 year, 5 year, but like as far as like instead of quarter, do a 3-month cycle. There's some people, I think it's what High Performance Habits, Brendon Burchard or somebody that has like a 90-day, like their planners are based on 90 days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Someone,
Right.
maybe this is 30, but okay. So then let me type them out. And if someone else has an answer, feel free.
Current areas of focus and progress that make you the most confident. I was actually sick for a long time, so I'm working on losing weight. And if I think about the whole mass amount that I want to lose, it's overwhelming to me. So I just have to do it like 1 pound at a time and not get too overwhelmed. And I try to exercise. I love that concept of being 1% better daily because it doesn't
Mhm.
overwhelm. That makes me happy with the talk, and then with Atomic Habits too. I try to listen to that one. I try to listen to books all the time. I'm such a book nerd, and so if I had to turn my camera around, you'd be scared at how many books I have behind me. That's why this view is like right here, so you can see my treadmill. But I was just doing that on Sunday, writing down different aspects, working on one thing at a time, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. I'd love to have somebody come clean my house. That'd be fantastic, but it doesn't, like, I don't mind doing it. You know what I mean? I'd love to have somebody come clean my yard. That would be fun. I hate pulling weeds.
Yeah, so think of just something that you're like, who can I employ to help me? Because
Yeah.
if I'm doing that, it's not that you can't not like cleaning your house or that you can't not like grocery shopping or you don't mind it. It's specifically, is it time that's taking you away from
I understand that.
your
Yeah.
biggest goals
Right,
and
yeah.
like your life's
Mhm.
I could be doing something else.
accomplishment? Yeah, what else could you be doing in
Good
that
stuff.
time for your purpose?
That makes sense. I can see that. Letting you go let somebody do that so then I can focus more on the better stuff than just the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can think about these questions. If anyone has an answer, feel free. And the challenge is just
I
to
do.
add, go ahead.
Okay. The current areas of focus. So like I said, I've been working with a business coach, and I completely am revamping what it is that I was offering. Like, it's not even the same package offer that I had before. And I'm very, very, very excited about it. Absolutely confident that this is something that people need, that women specifically need. And so I feel really, really great about the direction I'm headed. And unequivocally, like, this is my purpose. This is what I was called to do. And I know that this is the direction that is going to help so many women change their lives. So I'm elated about it.
That's awesome. And does it make you want to
Yes.
clean?
No, not one bit.
I love that. Patricia, do you have anything? And then I do have a countdown for my free thing.
No,
I used to
you're
say, but
fine.
now I do the free one. So
Okay,
it's
no, I'm actually just still looking at the
countdown.
questions and thinking about it because I didn't, I haven't even gotten there in the book yet. So I mean, that's why, but no, yeah, I still need to think about it.
Okay, so the challenge for this next week is to add at least one who to your goals in the next 90 days in any area of life that you choose. By adding in a who, your commitment will increase and your behavior will improve. And like we talked about, it's like your brain, it's social proof to your brain that you can find a who. And if you can find a who in one area, you can find a who in another and another. So, so that's the challenge, is to find a who before the next time we meet to help you do something. Something that's been on your mind, that's taking up space, that needs to be knocked out so you can get progress in some area of your life. And I like that this book isn't, I mean, it's mostly focused on your purpose, but it really has to do with all areas of your life. Because you could say all day long, I'm going to get all the who's from my business and I'm never going to have anyone help me clean. And then you're taking up all your time cleaning. And so you're not really doing your business, even though the who's are helping. You could have like triple the amount of time if you also had help there too. Right? It doesn't mean we all need cleaning ladies in the next week. It just means one of those items that's on our list, and it can be any form of anything. We'll have a who, we'll say, this is the movement I've made on it, and then we will start to put this into practice. Okay, I do have to hop off and jump on another call, but thanks for showing up.
See you later.
See you guys
Bye.
next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.